I believe we're all called to change the world, to leave our footprint on this planet in such a way that everyone knows I was here and I took up space while I lived. However, after having served more than 1,000 women leaders around the world, I've seen a very interesting pattern start to develop. That many of us are more excited about the idea, the notion of changing the world, but when it comes to the implementation, when it comes to the execution, the planning, merging into actually doing it, often that's a different story. You see, in our current society, a lot of us are more driven by motivation, the feeling of excitement, the thrill, the fast heartbeat that comes when you start to plan around something or create a new goal, move towards a new project. But motivation fades, doesn't it? It's short-lived many times, where we only start at the top of the roller coaster, but then we start to come down, and that ride isn't as fun, where we begin to learn what it costs to be the boss. I'm excited that you all are excited, that you have an idea, a passion project that you have in mind, but passion is just our starting line. In order for us to go all the way to the finish line, it's going to take more than just feelings of excitement. It's going to take more than the perfectly planned vision board, getting the best apps at the start of the year to organize your life. It's going to take more than those perfectly selected affirmation cards that your friend recommended to you and you ran to order so you could manifest your dream. Instead, you're going to have to follow through at an exponential level. And this is a process of self-discovery, self-awareness in new ways, where many times we're not always connected to who we're going to become. But I believe that there's something in you that is so amazing that only your brilliance can bring it to life here on this planet. With this in mind, let's grab our idea. The question today is, what does it take to move that idea, that passion project, that vision from idea to implementation? What does it take to build something that's bigger than you, that touches your family's life and your community? What does it take to really build legacy? What does it take to turn an idea into a movement? Now, if you have that idea in your mind, I want you to grab it. I want you to put it in your pocket. We're going to come back to it in just a few minutes, okay? Now, depending on the type of visionary that you are, you may have this idea and you want to run ahead to get the perfect app to help you organize your thoughts, or maybe get the planner so you can write everything out, or you're a journaler, so that's how you like to process. But what I've seen is many of us are actually searching for aligned productivity. We're looking for a way to integrate many moving pieces of our lives into a process that works. We're looking for a way to take our resources that are available, mix it in with our real to-do list, and then create some exponential results. If, for the sake of our time today, let's define productivity together. It is the rate of output of an individual, you and I, in relation to our identified goals. The tough part is no one can give you identified goals. Only you know what's the most important thing that you should be working on at this time. And only you know the most uncomfortable thing that you're probably avoiding so that you can go do something that feels a little better. I'll give you all an example. Today is my handsome son's 18th birthday. And becoming his mom all of those years ago definitely changed my rate of output in relation to my goals. This principle doubled down when we found out that we were expecting again, my husband and I, when he was only 18 months old. We blinked, and then here come twins. As a mom of 3 children, aged 2 and under, my mental capacity, the hours I had, my energy went out the window. And I had to begin to understand that productivity isn't about all of the time in the world. Instead, it's about in relationship to my personal family goals. But also, it was a start of a movement. I had to relearn how to structure my day. I had to relearn how to allocate my energy. I had to rediscover who I was as an individual in relation to my family as well. And maybe that's what you need, to align your productivity with your resources so that it works in a more powerful way. In addition to motherhood making me re-examine how I spent my time, I also started to ask some other questions. I wondered if there were more women in the world who were like me, who wanted to encourage, empower, and uplift others, but somewhere along the way, they wanted to take care of themselves and their responsibilities at the same time. Where were those women? The question came to life in a very real way because if you all think back a couple years, we were not celebrating therapy and self-care, were we? We were not talking about maternal health, postpartum depression, or matrescence. We weren't thinking about how our energy and our exhaustion was playing a role in how we show up in the world through work-life balance. Being in the C-suite with 3 kids was not a topic of discussion, and we certainly weren't hiring someone to help solve the problem for parents in the organizations. And so I started telling my story about the other side of being a mom. You know, where you love your life, you love your work, you love your family, but some days you don't like it. Some days you want to take a deep breath and vote yourself off the island. Some days, my 3 toddlers would come to wherever I was, probably in the closet, eating cookies and with the door closed, and I would see 3 pairs of fingers under the door calling mama, mama. And I would say, oh, what time is my husband coming home? Come get your kids, right? I had to work through that story. I had to work through that level of energy. And so I started to tell my very authentic story, just in case there was someone in the world who felt like I did, who maybe was trying to figure out how all of the moving pieces were supposed to work together. And it turns out that was the case. And millions of women around the world, I believe now in this place, are waking up to see what they need. They were looking for voices. They are looking for voices who echo, I see you. I get it. And I was okay with telling my story early so I could normalize that feeling. I developed, on accident, a form of maternal thought leadership. People are looking for someone to tell that story in an authentic way, to bring together your lived experience, your story, your testimony, the way that only you can say it. They're looking for that in a very powerful way to show leadership, to challenge old thinking, to say, you know what, I know that it's been this way for a long time, but maybe that's not the way it has to be forever. Come with me. I can help. There is a solution. That is powerful positioning. And so finally, for those who feel that they have greatness inside of them and they want to share it with others, for those who know that time is their greatest gift and they want to use it in a way that's powerful and impactful, and for those who have an idea in their minds that is bigger than they are, but you want to see it in real time, we have to add on to our passion, productivity, and positioning impactful community programming. What will you start? Who will you become to impact and serve more people? People are looking for bold ideas. They're looking for people who want to do the heavy lifting, who want to do the work. But they're going to have questions for you. They're going to ask you who should be a part of this. They're going to inquire, why should we join in? And yes, they'll ask, why should we share, support, or even sponsor this idea? And most of all, are you the facilitator, the leader, the founder of this movement? Are you committed to walking it all the way through, no matter what? So we bring together this idea, the one that you have that you're holding on to so tightly. I'm glad you're passionate about it. I'm glad it's something that keeps you up at night that you can't wait to see come to life. But along with that passion, we have to use our hours as our superpowers. We have to be willing to step into the light in a bold way and say, I'm here, I can help. And then we have to be willing to create community programming, more nonprofits, more organizations, more networks to help collaborate and push the idea forward. Thank you.